Well, hello there. Hi, it's Adam, the language guy, and my next language will be Mandarin Chinese. I'm really looking forward for this because Mandarin is going to be a very different experience. It is my first language that won't be Indo-European, the first language that it's not going to use the Latin alphabet. Actually, the first language that doesn't use any alphabet at all. And there are so many things that are different, like lack of tenses, lack of declensions, and of course the tones. Chinese is a tonal language, so if you pronounce the same syllable in a different tone, like a falling or rising tone, it means something a little different. And like this, you can call inadvertently your mom a horse or vice versa. In Indo-European languages, um, we use tones only in special situations, like to mark a question or emphasize sarcasm or emphasize a word. In Chinese, it modifies the meaning of the word. Another interesting thing for me to explore will be the differences between Chinese dialects. Well, actually, they shouldn't be called dialects because the differences are quite huge between them. Uh, actually, nothing like Chinese language exists. There is. That's why we talk about Mandarin Chinese, Cantonese Chinese. There's the Chinese scripture, which is common to all the variations of the Chinese language. And then there are, and this scripture characters convey meaning, not the pronunciation. And then there are various Chinese dialects or languages, if you will, which assign pronunciation to these characters. And one character can mean the same thing, but it's pronounced completely differently in Mandarin Chinese and Cantonese Chinese. And I received a lot of contradicting information to how big is the difference between these dialects. Some people told me that there's only it's Chinese language. There's only one language, and the dialects are they just differ by accents or something like that, and they are actually pretty similar, and you can understand one with the knowledge of the other one. Other people told me that they are as different as, for example, Portuguese from Italian, that they shouldn't even be called dialects. They should be like different languages from the same family. And as to my mission, I already started it. I've been studying the characters and basics for about a month or 2 months, something like that. And there are some books that I would like to show you that I'm using. There's this one in Czech, this one in French. Thank you guys again for that. And this is my take on Chinese characters. Well, I hope someday a Chinese person will be able to read them. And then there's this book, which is kind of special, and I like it. Would like to share it with you. It's called Chinesey, and it helps you with the characters by means of graphic examples. So, for example, this is Chinese character for number 1. Like this, it's easy to remember if it is drawn in a hand. Another pretty example is, for example, this one. This is a character for mouth. And then it goes on and derives from that. For example, 2 mouths mean to shout. And so on and so on. And then they can be combined. A character for person and a character for mouth means population. You can easily remember it by telling yourself there are many mouths to feed equals population. Or this one was on the cover book. It's a character for fire. And I bet if somebody in a year from now, from who's seeing this video, shows you this character, you'll be able to remember what it means. You guys have to be about that. Oh, and about the mission. This time it is going to have a little bit different structure. When it comes to my previous missions, some of them were just like a head-first jump. I just jumped in the water without knowing how to swim. Especially in the case of France and Spain, I just came to the country without knowing how to speak the language. And then you need some time to learn the basics. And the thing is that Chinese is really different. When you are European and you come to a different European country without knowing the language, there are still many words that sound the same, like internet or Coca-Cola. In Chinese, not really. Heck, they don't even use the Arabic numerals. Like, they have their special characters for numbers. So I want to go there prepared. And one thing I want to avoid, I really don't want to speak English in China because If I came there using English, I would just end up hanging out with English speaking expats, and that's the road to hell, baby. My plan is to spend some time in Slovakia. I'm moving to Bratislava. My plan is like 9 months now. I will see. Maybe it'll be shorter, maybe longer. And I'm going to dedicate 1 hour a day to learning Mandarin, the characters, and so on. And then after that, I will go to Shanghai or some other city. I will see for 3 months, and I'm going to do nothing else than practice by speaking, by reading, by listening, by watching movies. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is my plan, and wish me luck. Bye.